See, while we are favored by faith, but we are literally walking in everyday life. We are walking in everyday life. God has favored us to breathe. God has favored us to see a new beginning. God has favored us to understand our goods, our bad. God has favored us to understand that there are certain people around us that mean good for us, that also mean bad for us. But it's always favored by faith. You don't know why you left your house, when you go to Walmart, you go to other stores. You just go by faith. You don't know who might be wanting to harm you along the way. But you said, I'm going to leave, I'm going to go. Because why you trust God, that God Almighty will protect you. Right? You believe in the dependence of God, that as you go forward, that He will send forth His angels to do what? To protect you. So that's favor by faith. Right? For those who are mothers, when you had a baby, before you give birth, you have that hope that I'm going to see my baby. And when you finally see your baby, that feeling, that hopeful feeling have become a thing that comes to pass. That strong emotion. And that's what this message has been really about. How do you leave your comfort zone to go to a place where you have never been before? How do we enter from entering to the pandemic and then looking forward to coming out of the pandemic? That hopeful place. That independent place, believing that, look, no matter what comes, I know that my God is going to protect and guide me along the way. And this is what the series is going to end with. And we're looking at the book of Psalms 132, verse 1. It says, "O Lord, remember on behalf of David all the hardship he endured." O Lord, remember on behalf of David all the hardship he endured. The woman of God was reading a message from the Bible, and she was talking about how David had many enemies, that he could not defeat his enemies because they were coming on all sides. It takes his own son to come fight for him to win. Our prayer is that may God fight for us, and may God intervene for us.
Amen.
As David that endured so much. David endured so much, and his son has to come be the one to fulfill. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want your own son to come fight your battles while you're supposed to fight your battles. You don't want your daughter to come fight the battle while you're supposed to fight your battles that God has made you to fight. You don't want to put someone in the place. Imagine if David never fought Goliath, that it was David's son who come to fight Goliath. Then that son would never manifest in the first place. Hallelujah. Mm-hmm. So when we are saying that we are favored by faith, here it said, "Oh Lord, remember." So we are of David's lineage. We are saying that it says, "Lord, remember David and his afflictions." Remember David, what David went through. Right? He's enduring hardship. Imagine the hardship that you are in right now. That you are stuck in that hardship. That you take your daughter to come remove from that hardship. Or your son to come remove from that hardship. Many of us will face that situation. Our parents endured hardship. But it doesn't mean that we must also endure hardship. If our parents refuse to change, it doesn't mean that we must also refuse to change. You want God to favor you? You have to look in the past of where you come from. Because the answer to what God will do to favor you has to do with the past. And here, Solomon, he is already in the presence of greatness already, because he was born in greatness. But the problem that he needs to solve is in the past of his father. Because his father had all manner of enemies. Perhaps you have all manner of enemies after you. It's not everybody who smiles to you love you. It's not everybody who congratulates you really want that congratulation to go forward. You must understand that the enemy hides in people. He chooses whom he needs to choose, and he hides in it. And we see here, say, oh Lord, remember on behalf of David all the hardship he endures. The question here is, what hardship have you endured? What hardship has your parents endured? What hardship has somebody that you know around you, your family member, what are they enduring? And how are you chosen to solve that hardship? There's some hardship you cannot escape from. There's some trials and tribulations you cannot escape from. You have to confront it. You have to confront it boldly to discipline that situation so you can become greater. Hallelujah. Mm-hmm. And here he says, remember. So he's bringing a remembrance back to God. He said, God, remember. Some of us need to cry out for our mothers and our fathers, for what they have done. Lord, my mother did this, my father did this. Lord, remember us to change. Remember us to walk away from our iniquities. Remember us, oh God, for a new beginning. Remember us. Imagine if God never remembered David. Imagine if God never remembered David. Solomon would never be what he is. Imagine if God never remembered your mother's prayer, your father's prayer, your Archbishop prayer, and your prophetess prayer. Imagine if God never remembered them. Where would you have been today? And here he says, oh Lord, remember. He said, remember on behalf of David, all the hardship endured. Some other scripture will say, he said, oh Lord, remember David and all his affliction. So we know that hardship is affliction. What have you been afflicted this season with? What manner of stress have you been afflicted this season with? Because that manner of stress has to do with the answer that you deserve to know. But the enemy will block that answer so that you will not understand it. It's an affliction. Don't you know the people who are righteous also get afflicted? Don't you know the people who are child of God, man of God, women of God, they also get afflicted? Because inside affliction, there's an answer of prayer. Inside affliction, there's the answer of prayer. So whatever affliction you're faced with in this season, inside of same affliction, there is an answer prayer. Can I tell you something? Inside the same wound, there is healing. Inside the same wound that you have been wounded, there is same healing. Inside a broken heart, there is a whole of the heart. There's a completion of the heart. You must see past where you're looking from. You must see past that.